Hello and welcome to the Iggy Games channel. This is Josiah and I've got opinions on gaming stuff. Now, let's talk a bit more in depth about spoilers. The same person who leaked about the different clothings and stuff like that, the different they weren't really screenshots, but they were different showings, I guess. I don't know what word you'd use, of the different weapons and so on. The same guy who leaked some things about the story, but the only stuff that's leaked about the story, he said, is within the first 5 to 6 hours of playing the game. Which, okay, so definitely this isn't, right off the bat, this isn't as major of a spoiler. It is, because it's talking different things about the story, and we're getting different clues about, what the heck is happening. So, if you don't want to hear anything about the first 5 to 6 hours of the game, leave now. And after you play the game, I guess you can see what my opinions were about it after freaking playing the game. So, let's talk about it, shall we? So basically, the guy said that in the first 5 to 6 hours, you find the Master Sword, you know what it is. The Zelda that's talking to you in your head is, we all knew that it was Zelda, right? But it's not, it's Zelda from the past. It's not the Zelda that's currently in the game. It's it's a Zelda from the past. In other words, the Zelda that we see in those shots of cutscenes with the white dress and so on. So that's the Zelda we're listening to in the majority of the game, which is interesting. I think there's one shot where we see, her bathing in the pool of the goddess, which leads me to believe that it's that particular shot is the Zelda from that game, not from the past timeline. I don't think so, or it could be. I don't know. It's speculation. But they said that Zelda is trying to talk to you from the past, to lead you to certain places where the other people, like the Goron, the Rito, these other people are kept, because they can lead you to find where to repair the Master Sword. So in this game, the Master Sword, at the very beginning, because it's damaged and that's all it can do, it talks about it's simply a conduit from which somebody from the past can speak, which is interesting because, as I said in my previous video, in Skyward Sword, they say that the Master Sword has a force in it, right? And so I theorize that the Force, or the Breath of the Wild, or whatever you want to call it, this blue aura, is all of these are connected. So the stuff in the Master Sword is the same stuff in the Ocarina of Time, is the same stuff in the Time Shift Stones, is the same stuff in the Guardians. If that's the case, then and this Master Sword is simply a conduit from which someone can speak through time, that makes sense, because it uses the same material from the Time Shift Stones to be able to transfer words from the past to the future. Also, it explains why in Ocarina of Time, the Master Sword is bringing you from different points of time, because the Master Sword also has that blue aura within it. Anything else in the story it's not really significant. They said that the Zelda that you have in the game is not the same Zelda that you see in the past. She is Zelda the Third, which is around the same time. If Link has been asleep for only 100 years, it would make sense that if Zelda was already pregnant, like I was like, okay, she's not pregnant in that. When she's wearing a white dress, she's not pregnant. But the leaker seems to confirm that no, she is pregnant. Which it would make sense, because if she's pregnant with like Link's child, which means that, well, okay, if Zelda and Link are having a baby, right? And Link goes into the Sheikah shrine, the Shrine of Resurrection, to be to sleep for 100 years, and Zelda's already pregnant, it would make sense because she would be giving birth to at least one child to give birth to another. So the Zelda that you are speaking to, if Zelda in the past is married to Link, or if she's having a baby with Link, then the Zelda that you are encountering in the world in Breath of the Wild is your great granddaughter, which is a bit weird. But I mean, I don't know. It's strange. It is weird. And who knows what "you must save her, my daughter" means. My daughter. Who is my daughter? Is it does the King of Hyrule speak 100 years ago? I think that's probably more likely, because if you are the father of this girl, the person who's talking to you, "You must save her, my daughter," is saying stuff like he is your son, I guess, which would be strange to speak to your son who is older than you. That might be the case. I don't know. I just think it's more likely that it's in the past. Now once again, this begs the question, and a lot of people have been talking about this as if it's already confirmed, but it isn't. Is what is on that tapestry on the back of the map in the special edition, is that referring to events happening 100 years ago? I still don't think so. Even after this leak, when it's saying, oh, Zelda and Link... Yeah, the leak also said that Zelda and Link couldn't really stop Calamity Ganon in the past, so going into the future, that will somehow stop Ganon from succeeding in the past, which, I mean, once again, details. That is possible, but it only... We don't know how that's possible, so we'll see in the game when we play it. But you have things like... there's a title screen in that game that is strictly looking at Calamity Ganon fight. It's on the tapestry. It's Calamity Ganon fighting the man with red hair. So whatever is in the tapestry I don't think is what happened 100 years ago. It isn't. I think it happened far longer ago. I think more what it is, it's a history of the Calamity Ganon, and it's a history of, I think, it's a history of Calamity Ganon, and it's a history of the Sheikah and what happened with the Guardians. If what in that tapestry happened that much long ago, that would make a lot more sense, because it seems to me that different people are attacking the Calamity Ganon. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about a theory that really Zelda has been telling us all along, that there have been two heroes. I'll talk about that in another video. But I think primarily it's strictly talking about the Guardians and what happened with the Guardians. Another thing to support that is, I don't remember where I saw it or what it was, but it said that the Guardians had been made a very long time ago, and for some reason, at one point, they just all went ballistic, which I think probably they went ballistic because of Calamity Ganon. We know that in the dungeons, there's this gook around that you have to eliminate. I think that's directly from Calamity Ganon. I think the Guardians, their red parts, are because of Calamity Ganon. But it said that they were made a lot longer ago. And it would make sense, because when you defeat them, you get stuff like Ancient Springs. And Ancient is not 100 years ago, right? I think it's talking like way further in the past. And I still think the old man could be the hero that tried to fight Calamity Ganon, but he's also brought into the future somehow. But way into the future, so he's way in the past. So I think there might be a lot of time travel in this game. There was a lot of time travel in Skyward Sword. I mean, I played it and it's like there's a lot of time travel, and then they're doing more stuff with time travel. I don't know what they're doing. They might be trying to think up, some sort of some different kind of time thing, kind of mess with the timeline. I don't know. Me personally, I think we need less games that mess with the timeline. We just need stories. That's all we need. I think already we have a pretty well-established timeline, and we don't actually need to mess with time more simply because it was popular in Ocarina of Time. So those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. Those are the spoilers. So if you guys if there was something else pointed out in the spoilers that I didn't see, go ahead, leave it in the comments. Let's have a conversation about this. But thank you very much for watching. See you guys.